So today it's cold, it's drizzly and rainy, and did I mention it's cold? But we tried to make the best of a 10K run that my husband joined today, and there he is. He is an avid runner, jogger, and good for him, but it couldn't be me. I'm not built that way. But what I am built for is creating cozy, comfortable food when it's cold out. My cat has the right idea. She has the best seat in the house right now because it is just bone-chillingly cold. And I know exactly what I'm going to make. This is definitely soup season, so I'm making one of my favorites. Fideo con carne y papas. This is a Mexican style soup. It's so comforting. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my ingredients. I'm slicing half of a small to medium onion, and I'm just going to give it a rough chop. And here I'm going to be using around 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of thin sliced sirloin steak, and I'm just going to cut that up into small chunks. You could also sub the steak for ground beef. 1 pound of lean ground beef also works. Okay, I'm going to preheat the pot. I'm going to add some cooking oil, maybe like 1.5 tablespoons, and I'm going to start cooking and browning the meat. You can pre-season this after you cut it and let it hang out. I just eyeball seasonings while everything is in the pan. I'm going to go with some salt, pepper, garlic blend and just eyeball that, maybe 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, and some granulated onion powder is going to go in. Again, 1/2 teaspoon works for this. And I'm just going to continue to cook, combine, saute, and get a little browning on the steak. Once the meat is cooked through, I'm going to remove it from the pot. Now I'm going to lower the heat to a low heat setting. I'm going to add a little more cooking oil. I'm using avocado oil. Use a good vegetable oil if that's what you've got. And a 5-ounce box of vermicelli pasta or noodles. And I'm going to slowly toast and brown this. You do not want to skip this step because this is what's going to ensure that the pasta keeps its firm texture when you add the liquid. And this is what you're looking for. A light to golden brown color. You don't want to burn it. This is why you are using a low heat setting when you do this. It does take time, but it's so worth it. So I'm going to create a space on the bottom of the pot and add my onion and just saute that. I'm going to give that a mix. I'm also going to prep 3 small potatoes. Those were golden Yukon potatoes. You could use russet, a medium to 1 large. And I added that to the pot as well, and I'm going to saute that for a couple of minutes. My heat setting is on a medium-low heat setting because I'm not trying to burn the pasta as I saute the onion and potato. Now I am going to prep this puree tomato broth blend to go into the soup. I have 2 Roma tomatoes. I'm going to add that into my blender cup. Here I'm going to add 2 cloves of chopped garlic and some ground cumin. I had cumin seeds that I ground up, and a 14-ounce can of beef broth. You could add water and maybe some beef bouillon powder. And now puree well. I'm going to add the meat back into the pot along with 1 dried bay leaf. And now for the puree. To make this soupy, I'm going to add extra broth. And I'm going to add that into the blender cup to get any residual tomato or puree that was left in the blender cup. So now I'm going to crank up the heat because I am going to bring this to a boil or a rapid simmer. Give that a mix. I can already tell that I want more liquid into this, so I'm probably going to fill 1 can, another 14 ounces. In all, I would say somewhere between 4.5 to 5.5 cups of water or liquid, whether it's broth, water, that you'll use to make this soupy. I'm going to add part of that can and give it a mix. And after mixing this, I can tell I want the full can of water going in. After mixing this, you'll want to give it a taste for salt and seasoning. I am going to add some cracked black pepper to taste, and also salt goes in. Give that a mix. And what I'm going to do is cover with a lid to help it come up to a rapid simmer or boil. And then once it's boiling like this or simmering, you'll want to just kind of offset the lid so it doesn't boil over and lower the heat. Let it cook for about 12 to 15 minutes. And then after that, it should be done. It smells amazing. Everyone's hungry. It's so cold outside. We had such an early morning in the cold and the rain. It was just not it for us today. So this is going to hit the spot. And the potatoes are perfectly cooked after about 13 minutes. So this is done. I also want to mention, if you are using a tougher cut of beef, the cook time for the beef is going to take a lot longer. So this is why I like to use steak for this. Okay, I fished out the bay leaf. Now I'm going to add some more into my bowl. And this is done. This is what we are having. And it comes in clutch when it is so cold outside. And this is also another great soup recipe for those of you that are in your soup season era. Add this to the list and give it a try. But I also want to show you something that's been going viral recently. I don't know if you have ever had these, but these are called Tokyo bananas. I can get these at my local Korean grocery store technically anytime I want. I'm very fortunate for having one not too far from me. But for those of you that are wondering where you can try to find these, you can get this probably at any Asian type grocery store. But these are called Tokyo bananas, and when I tell you this dessert is so good, I know why it's going viral. And I'll show you once I can unwrap this. By the way, I hate tearing the wrapping because it's wrapped so well. It's almost like a present or a gift, and they are so tasty. You can find these probably in the freezer or refrigerated section of your Asian grocery mart. And this is what they look like, little bananas. But what it is this delicious, light sponge cake with a banana cream filling. It's so good. Not that these have anything to do with a delicious, comforting soup, but this is what we're doing to stay warm. We're snacking, we're eating, staying warm. And I suggest you do the same because it is getting cold out there. So I will see you all in the next video. Bye.